Hi, I'm Judy Eichhorst, and I help the motivated, eager, and driven. And those are people just like you are. I help them to discover, spark, and actify more clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence so that they can come alive and excel in both their personal and professional lives. And today I'm here to come and talk to you about energy. I want to give you some thoughts around energy and maybe some motivation around the concept of energy. And your first question might be, what do you really mean when you talk about energy? Because it's one of those 5 pillars of high performance that I mention each week when I'm introducing myself. So what exactly is energy? So I came up with some other words that maybe this would help you if you heard some of these other words. And how about aliveness, about coming alive? How about that current? Sort of that current that runs through you, that gives you the power, it gives you the punch, the zest, the vim, the vigor, the vitality, all of those words that carry you through into your day. It's what gets you up. It's what gets you going. It's what keeps you going. And it's what keeps you going when you're going uphill, downhill, long distance, sprints. That energy is that aliveness in us. And if we can have more of that in us, it doesn't necessarily mean that we become, frenetic or something like that. It means that we have more power to carry us through our day or through an opportunity, through a challenge. And we need this stuff. We need this stuff in order to get through even our most precious celebrations. It takes a lot of energy to plan out and have a wedding. That's a beautiful celebration, but wow, what a lot of energy, not just for the day when, it just seems to be back to back to back to back of things that might be going on for that bride and that groom, or the parents of the bride or the groom, but also the whole process of planning out the wedding. The wedding ends up being very little of the amount of time you spend. It's the preparation and having the energy to do something that's wonderful around a celebration like that, or the energy to give birth to a baby and to raise that child. Think of the amount of energy we need to be mothers and fathers. It also takes a lot of energy to get through some things in life where sometimes maybe we have to have surgery, or we've had an accident or an injury. The amount of energy that it takes for us to go through a healing process is huge. And so we want more of this energy. And the great news is that it can be generated by you. You can actually generate more energy in your life. And there's a way to do it to bring more energy into your day. And so those are some of the tips I want to talk to you about today, are some of those ways that you can actually generate energy for yourself. So when I think of the things that you can do to generate energy, I also think of these words. And those words are habits, like new habits or stopping old habits. Practices, maybe you prefer the word practices, some new practices that I bring into my life, or a routine, a new routine. It's conditioning. These are things that we do to condition ourselves, to make changes, to actually mold ourselves in order to bring about that increased energy that we all want to be able to have more vitality in our lives. So I'm going to talk about five different things, and there's quite a few things that would go along with each one of these, but we just have a few moments, so I just want to mention the 5. So the first one is rest. It's when we start off our day with less than 8 hours of sleep, we start off our day with less than a tank full of energy for our day. And so it is very, very important that every single person learn how to give themselves, take those hours for rest, 8 hours a day. And so that would mean if you like to be an early riser like myself at 5 a.m., it means I need to be in my bed by 9. And that means I sleep from 9 till 5. And that is of huge necessity for every single one of us. There isn't somebody out there that needs less. You maybe have been going along on less, but you don't have the amount of energy in your day that you could have. You haven't built up the reserves of energy that you could have if you did that rest. So give that one a try. The second one I want to talk to you about is hydration. When we become dehydrated, and that doesn't mean we're necessarily feeling thirsty. Dehydration, when we aren't fully hydrated, we feel tired, we feel sluggish, our brain doesn't work as quick and as fast, and this can very often be from a hydration issue rather than from not enough sleep. So it's important that you get 96 ounces of water every single day. And you start from the first thing when you get up in the morning. Drink a glass of 12 ounces of water, very first thing when you get up in the morning, because that starts your body off with hydration. That's going to allow all your organs to fire back up again. Things that have been sort of, resting and at rest, it just gets everything back moving again and working well. The third one I want to talk to you about is nutrition. And it truly does matter what we put in our bodies. I don't know if you're like me, but my taste buds inside my mouth love a certain kind of flavor of food. It's lots of salt, lots of sugar, lots of fat. It just makes, those taste buds inside my mouth so happy. But it doesn't help my energy. It doesn't give me what I need to get through the day. And what I have found that really helps me get through the day is, greens, eating all the different kinds of greens, whether I do that drinking them through my shake, which I tend to do every single morning, or whether I'm eating them in salad or eating them mixed into my meatloaf or having them in all different ways to get all those greens in. The other thing is to have, some really good, high nutritious fish every week, having lots of that in your diet as well. So your nutrition matters. And if you can cut back on your sugar or get rid of the sugar altogether, you're going to notice a difference in your energy. The fourth one I want to talk to you about is, that word, the exercise. And I myself personally like to change that word to movement. Now that is for myself. I like to think about getting up and moving more. Now that might be by going outside into the beautiful day. That also gives my brain a change of scenery, which is really, really good for my energy. And then walking for 30 minutes at a brisk walk or at a less brisk. What's important is the movement. I think sometimes we get so caught up in thinking of exercise as real intense. And although that is good for us, and I'm certainly not saying not to do intense exercise, high intensity exercise, I'm saying that if we put more movement into our day, we would have more energy. So walking, standing up and dancing, standing up and marching in place from your desk, giving yourself some breaks where you just move for 2 minutes, move for a full 2 minutes before you sit back down in that chair to work again. Hugely important. And there is no one kind of exercise that is perfect for everybody. Each person finds the thing that they love. And when you find something that you have a little bit of passion for and something that you really enjoy, it's easier. But I will tell you that with all of these kind of habits, all of these new practices, all of this remolding and changing and pulling in new habits for us, it requires us to do these things from a place of making a decision, having a burning desire for more energy in our life, and therefore we do them whether we feel like it or not. When we wait until we feel like eating salmon, or we feel like eating spinach, or we feel like sleeping 8 hours, or we feel like having a glass of water, or we feel like standing up from our chair and moving around, we're not going to generate the same amount of energy that we can if we start putting these habits in as daily practices. And the fifth thing I wanted to talk to you about is about our moods. And this is about we can generate energy by changing our mood. And we have that power to change our mood. We don't have to wait till somebody else brings that mood in the room for us. That's just a real reactive way to live life, is to wait until the fun guy comes in the room and makes us all laugh, and now I'm in a good mood, and I've got to wait till the funny gal comes. No, we can do this for ourselves. Get grateful. Think of the things that bring you the most joy. Close your eyes and visualize them. You can actually raise your mood yourself, and this generates energy. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. There's nothing wrong with going and seeing a comedian or turning on a TV show that makes you laugh. But the thing that's going to generate the most energy for you is for you to learn to do that yourself, and to also to give yourself self-care. All of these help you raise your own mood yourself and increase your energy. So more energy means you're going to be ready for those opportunities when they come along. So let's build more energy in your day today. If you enjoyed this video, I ask that you share it with your friends. I ask you to write some comments below. Let me know what you think about it, how you maybe are going to take one of these ideas and move it into your day. You don't have to take all 5. Just choose one. Just choose one and say, I'm going to commit to trying this today. I'm going to stand up from my chair and just move for 2 minutes and see if my energy doesn't feel better when I sit back down in that chair. So I would love to see you get yourself more energy today. And in the meantime, you all just have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you next week on the next video. Bye-bye.